Vedic literature, Vedic age and Vedic age has been completed. After the Vedic age, during the post-Vedic period, that is 6th century BC, started 16 Mahajanapadas. They are also called as Shodasha Mahajanapadas. 16 Mahajanapadas were also called as Shodasha Mahajanapadas. These existed around 6th century BC. That means at the time of end of Vedic age. End of the Vedic age. Coming to the point of the end of the Vedic age, what are the conditions existed to rise of the Mahajanapadas? We already discussed that during the time of the latter Vedic period, pastoral agriculture converted into complete agriculture. Whenever people they followed the complete agriculture, it was at this moment in the Indo-Gangetic plains, this area extended agricultural land. That means they cleared the forest land, they extended agricultural land. Territorial idea has been started for this period. Territorial idea. To occupy the areas, that means to occupy the areas, to strengthen gradually they started to strengthen the territorial ideology because of permanent settlement, They followed the permanent agricultural settlement in a particular area, gave a geographical identity of a tribal people. Wherever they started the permanent settlement, there some geographical identity has been started. That group of the tribes, so they started the political system. Political setup also started this period. So this political setup led for the different existence of the different kingdoms, like monarchical kingdoms and also republican kingdoms. There existed monarchical kingdoms and also republican kingdoms. Two types of the kingdoms were existed of during this period in the Indian history. Monarchical system completely in the hands of the king, hereditary of the kings. After the king family would follow, king family would alarm the kingdom, that means would reign that kingdom. Republican state, king will be elected by the people. That means head of the state was elected by the people. Like this, two types of the republican and monarchical states has been established during the 6th century BC. So it saw the emergence of the first larger cities. Permanent settlements saw the emergence of the larger cities after the demise of Indus Valley civilization. Archaeologically, this period corresponds in the past Northern Black Polished Ware, NBPW, during this period. What is Mahajanapada? Maha means greater, Jana means people, Pada means foot. Wherever they started their foothold. The foothold of the people is Janapada. Combination of two or more Janapadas, they became Mahajanapadas. Greater alam. Mahajanapadas means greater all. Greater realm. That was Mahajanapada is a greater realm. Mahajanapadas were first time mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya, that is the Buddhist text, The Buddhist text which was given the complete information of the Mahajanapadas was Anguttara Nikaya. Anguttara Nikaya. Whatever 16 Mahajanapadas were mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya, they considered as official 16 Mahajanapadas. Anguttara Nikaya is the fourth Buddhist Nikaya text. There were 5 Buddhist Nikayas: Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Digha Nikaya, Majjhima Nikaya, Samyukta Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya. Last one is Kuddaka Nikaya. Like that, there are 5 Nikayas. 5 Nikayas. Nikaya means a text, the part of the text. All these they speaks differently. For example, Digha Nikaya, long discourses of the Buddhism. It speaks about long discourses of Buddhism. That discourses means discussions, delivering of the speech. And Majjhima Nikaya, the collection of the middle length collections, middle length discourse. Samyukta Nikaya, it is the thematically linked discourses. Discourses thematically they were the linked with others. Anguttara Nikaya, it was the gradual collection, discourse grouped by the enumerations. Anguttara Nikaya. Kuddaka Nikaya, minor collections. Like this, so these Nikayas they mentioned about the 16 Mahajanapadas. 16 Mahajanapadas are oligarchic republics. Oligarchy means ruled by the different peoples. The people might be distinguished by the nobility, wealth families, and also educational families, corporate families. Religiously they were higher, and military, they have the military control. These people emerged as a oligarchical people. Oligarchical people, they are some higher strata people. How they emerged? These people might be distinguished with the nobility. Their main was nobility. Oligarchy is group of nobles. Group of the nobles. How these nobles were existed? How these nobles distinguished from the other people? Coming to this point, they were the wealthiest families, educational families, or corporate families, or religiously or militarily high ranked people. So they evolved, flourished on the belt of the Gandhara region and also Gangetic region. Gandhara region and also Gangetic region. So Panini, these 16 Mahajanapadas also mentioned by the Panini in his Ashtadhyayi. Panini in the Ashtadhyayi, he also mentioned this 16 Mahajanapadas. But Panini Ashtadhyayi is somewhat different from others. This Panini Ashtadhyayi mentioned 16 Mahajanapadas like Kalyan or kingdom of the Orissa kingdom. That was mentioned by the Panini's Ashtadhyayi. Ashtadhyayi is the first grammar book. He mentioned Kalinga's Orissa Kalinga kingdom. This Kalinga kingdom did not mentioned by the Buddhist text. So in the point of the evolution of these kingdoms, evolution of the 16 Mahajanapadas, later Vedic society, later Vedic people, they were the rural people. They lived in Vedic people, they lived in the rural areas. Rural areas, village is a village. It was the smallest political setup, smallest political unit. Village is the smallest political setup or smallest political unit. Some group of the villages is called as Vis. Vis is the group of the villages. During the latter Vedic period, this Vis became very popular and Rajan became a monarchy. Rajan, he became monarchy during the latter Vedic period. Like this, during the latter Vedic period, latter Vedic text, they mentioned different Mahajanapadas like Panchala, Matsya, Anga, Champa, Ujjain, Kunti, Kirata, Jaiminiya, like this different cities were mentioned. Magadha, Kasi, Magadha, during the time of the latter Vedic period, these were mentioned in the religious text. The rise of the Mahajanapadas mainly attributed to the establishment of settled agricultural communities. The settled agricultural communities were caused for the rise of the Mahajanapadas. Mahajanapadas are greater territorial kingdoms. They took centuries for the formation of Mahajanapadas. That is some centuries. For example, 600 BC, around started the 600 BC. 600 BC to 300 BC. Nearly they took 3 centuries to form. Finally, in the year 320 BC, established the empire, Magadha Empire. So these many centuries they took for the formation of the Mahajanapadas. 16 Mahajanapadas, in the other way they are called as Shodasa Mahajanapadas. This is based upon these Mahajanapadas. During this Mahajanapadas, there are 2 types of the classes, labor class and landed class. Labor class and landed class. Landed class means the people, those who are mainly in the land. These people, agricultural based people. The landed class was called as Gahapatis of that period. These were called as Gahapatis of that period. So trade also flourished by this time. Towns were established such as Mathura, most important place of that period for the cotton textile. Mathura, on the bank of the river, next to Magadha, development of the Magadha. Kasi also became very popular for the textile industry. So this transition also saw the emergence of the new kingdoms, that is 16 Mahajanapadas. After the 300 BC, we can consider that as the second stage. Greater empires were established in the second stage. Yeah, coming to the point of the 16 Mahajanapadas. 16 Mahajanapadas. These 16 Mahajanapadas were divided into 2 parts. 16 Mahajanapadas, they divided into 2 parts. Monarchical states and republican states. Monarchical states and republican states. Out of these 16, 14 were the monarchical, only 2 were the republican states. These 2 republican states were the Malla and Vajji. Malla and Vajji, these 2 are republican territories. Already we discussed that these are mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya. Anguttara Nikaya of Buddhist text mentioned this. Now, these 16 Mahajanapadas we can show in the map. 16 Mahajanapadas we can show that in the map. This is South India. We can take it as a South India, Vindhya Satpura regions, and northern India of that period. North India of that period, it was like this area. So here, this is Krishna Godavari river. Between the Krishna Godavari river, there is only one Asaka or Asmaka. Asaka or Asmaka, but Asmaka, Mulaka, these two are the two kingdoms. Mulaka was not considered as a Mahajanapada. So above this, there is Avanti here in the Madhya Pradesh. Avanti. Chedi in the Madhya Pradesh. Macha, that was there near Delhi. Kuru, very near to the Delhi. Kuru was there. Here in the northwestern frontier provinces, Kamboja was there, and below the Kamboja there was Gandhara state, and Vajji, Anga. These two are the easternmost kingdoms, easternmost 16 Mahajanapadas. Below the Kuri there is a Panchala, here there is a Panchala, and below the Panchala Kosala, below the Kosala Magadha was there. Malla. Below the Kosala Malla. Below the Malla Kasi. Below that Magadha. So here there is a Vacha. This many 16 Mahajanapadas are existed. Two are there in the northwestern frontier provinces, Kamboja and Gandhara. Two are there in the easternmost, Vajji and Anga. Only one is there in the South India, in the between the two river banks, that is Krishna, Godavari, and remaining all in the North India. Kuru, Panchala, Kosala, Malla, Kasi, Magadha, Vacha, Chedi, Avanti. These are the kingdoms. So these 16 Mahajanapadas, we can come into the point of Mahajanapadas and the capitals. And we will discuss one by one, each and every one by one, we will discuss the things. All the 16 Mahajanapadas. First coming to the point of the Anga. Anga, the earliest reference of Anga found at Atharva Veda. It is located on the river bank of Champa. Champa is also a city, constructed city on the river bank of the Champa river. This is capital of the Anga. This is capital of the Anga. Anga is Bhagalpur and Munger districts of Bihar. Bhagalpur district of Bihar, Bhagalpur, and Munger district of Bihar, located in the Anga, located in the Bihar. It was a fabulous country, very wealthiest country of that period, most fabulous kingdom of that period, Anga. Anga mentioned, it was also mentioned in Mahabharata. During the time of the Karna entrance into the Mahabharata. Whenever Karna entered into the Mahabharata, at the time of there was a test among the Kauravas and Pandavas. Karna also entered. Karna, he said, I'm interested to participate in the testings, like whatever they learnt. But finally, Dronacharya did not accept it because that was the testing of only for the Kshatriya rulers. Karna was not Kshatriya, he was Sutaputra. That's why he did not accept it. Immediately, Duryodhana, he raised his hand and Duryodhana said that he is my friend. I am making him as a king of Anga. Karna made as a king of Anga. That was mentioned in the Mahabharata, Karna kingdom. It was also mentioned in the different books. Different books were also mentioned. Great center of the trade and commerce. Champa was the great center of the trade and commerce because it is very near to the Magadha and surrounding areas. Champa river is a main trade river of that period. After the Champa, the next kingdom was Kasi. Kasi was the next kingdom. Kasi, modern name Benares, capital of the Kasi, Varanasi. Varanasi, because it lies between two rivers, Varuna and Asi. It is bounded by the two rivers, Varuna and Asi, Varanasi. Varanasi. It is very famous. Kasi is very famous for the textile center, very famous textile center in the ancient period. And also, it is a market for the horses. It is market for textiles and also market for the horses in the ancient period. Kasi. Kasi capital, Varanasi. It is also called as Benares. It is also called as Benares. Located in the, what is that, on the river bank of the Varuna and Asi in the UP, Uttar Pradesh. It is very near to the Saranath. Near Kasi, there is a place called Saranath. Here, Buddha delivered his first ceremony. First ceremony of Buddha delivered at Saranath. This was considered as a birthplace of Buddhism. Birthplace of Buddhism. That means Buddha born in Nepal. Buddha born in Nepal, but Buddhism born in the Saranath. Buddhism born in Saranath. It is very near to the Kasi, Varanasi. And it was also the birthplace of the 23rd Jain Tirthankara. 23rd Jain Tirthankara's birthplace, he was Pashvanada. Pashvanada's father, Aswasena. Aswasena, he was king of Kasi. Aswasena, he was king of Kasi. Latter period, Kasi was conquered by the Kosala and Kasi was given to the dowry as a Bimbisara. That we will discuss during the time of the early kingdoms, Haryanka kingdom, early kingdoms of India. So that is about the Kasi. Next to Kosala. This is biggest Mahajanapada of all the Mahajanapadas. The kingdom Kosala corresponding to the modern Awadh area. It is modern Awadh area, Uttar Pradesh. One of the most powerful kingdom. There were 4 out of the 16, 4 powerful kingdoms were there. Remember, Kosala, Vacha, Avanti, Magadha. These 4 were called as 4 powerful Mahajanapadas of that period. So most powerful Mahajanapada, it was a very most powerful Mahajanapada. Kosala contained the 3 great cities, Ayodhya, one great city. After the Ayodhya, Saketa, Sravasti. These three were most important cities developed in the Kosala kingdom. Ayodhya, Saketa, Sravasti. The kingdom was divided into north and south by the river Sarayu. Sarayu river divided Kosala into North Kosala and also South Kosala. North Kosala, South Kosala. Sravasti is the capital of the North Kosala. Sravasti capital of the North Kosala. And Kushavati was the capital of the South Kosala. It has two, Sravasti and Kushavati, two capitals, Uttara Kosala and Dakshina Kosala. That was also called as Uttara Kosala and Dakshina Kosala. Famous king known from the Kosala was Prasenjit. Prasenjit. He was very popular ruler, belongs to the Kosala dynasty. Prasenjit, he was a contemporary of Lord Buddha, and he was also contemporary of Vardhamana Mahavira, and he was also contemporary of the Pradyota of Avanti ruler. He was also contemporary of Udayana of Vatsa ruler. So he was a contemporary of Bimbisara and Ajatasatru of Magadha. All these were the contemporaries of Prasenjit. Prasenjit, he had a son called Vidudara. Vidudara. For the first time in the Indian history, Prasenjit, he started the minister council for the cause of his son. Minister council first time existed in India by the Prasenjit period. This was Kosala, most important kingdom. Kosala is 6 times more than the Magadha. It was 6 times more than the Magadha in the area. After the Kosala, the next was Vajji. Coming to the point of Vajji, or this is also called as Riji, Vajji or Riji. It is on the foothills of the Himalayas, located in Nepal, foothills of the Himalayas, north of the Ganga. It was north of the Ganga, and it was separated from the Kosala and Malla by the river Gandak. River Gandak separated him from Kosala and Malla, these two Mahajanapadas. So the region confederacy, it consists of 8 or 10 clans, 8 to 10 clans, different confederacies, different kingdoms, different tribal people. So members of the confederacy of this area were important. Vijjis were important people. Vijjis, Videhas, Lichavis, and Gnatrikas. Important tribes among the 10 clans. Gnatraka, that belongs to the Vardhamana Mahavira. Vardhamana Mahavira belongs to the Gnatraka. Vardhamana Mahavira belongs to the Vajji kingdom. Vaisali, capital of the Vajji, Vaisali. Vaisali was capital. So Vaisali was the capital of Lichavis of that period, and also headquarters of the Vajjan confederacy. And Videhas had their capital at Mithila. Videhas, they have capital at Mithila. These were also important tribal people. In later period, this Mithila identified as Indraprastha. Indraprastha. Mithila identified with Indraprastha in the Mahabharata. So Vajji flourished non-monarchical Mahajanapada. It was a republican Mahajanapada. Non-monarchical republican Mahajanapada Vajji was. It is a state of the Mahajanapada, republican Mahajanapada. The Lichavis were most important tribal people of this area. Lichavis, very powerful, and they were defeated by the Ajatasatru. Lichavis, they made matrimonial alliances with Bimbisara, Ajatasatru's father Bimbisara, and also they made matrimonial alliances during the time of the Gupta's period. Samudragupta's father, Samudragupta, he was the son of Lichavi princess Kumaradevi. Samudragupta's father Chandragupta I, latter period during the time of the Gupta's period, Chandragupta I, he married Lichavi princess Kumaradevi. That's why Samudragupta, he was also called as a Lichavi Putra in his inscriptions. He mentioned as Lichavi Putra in his inscriptions. That means he was a son of Lichavi Putra, mentioned in his inscriptions. So this is about the Vajji kingdom. After the Vajji, next to another Mahajanapada, Malla. It was also republican state, Malla. Malla has two capitals. It has two capitals, Kushinara and Pava. Two capitals. Mallas were also powerful tribal people in the eastern India. Malla, it is the eastern India. But this, here also so many branches were there. There were more than 5 people, like 6 tribes, 6 tribal confederacy. Confederacy means group of the people ruling that area. So this is Kushinara and Pava, Buddha's vicinity. Buddha in the vicinity of Kushinara. Kushinara, death place of Buddha. Buddha died at Kushinara. Pava, it is also called as Pavapuri, death place of Vardhamana Mahavira. Vardhamana Mahavira. So both were died at Malla Confederacy, both Buddha and Vardhamana Mahavira. So Buddha's last tribes performed by the last rites of the Buddha, it was performed by the Mallas. After the death of Buddha, Mallas were identified. Mallas, they completed the rites of Buddha, funeral rites of Buddha. So after the Malla, next Chedi, coming to the point of the Chedi. Chedi, it located in the Bundelkhand area, modern Bundelkhand area. That was there in the Madhya Pradesh, Bundelkhand area. Capital Suktamati. Suktamati was the capital of Chedi kingdom. It has two most important cities, Sahajati and Tripuri. Sahajati and Tripuri. These two were most important cities, most developed cities of that period. Tripuri later period that became capital of the Rajputs. And Chedi family, might be this Chedi family, they moved from Madhya Pradesh to the Orissa, because in the Orissa latter period Kalinga kingdom, it was ruled by the Mahameghavahana dynasty. This Mahameghavahana dynasty also belongs to the Chedi dynasty. Might be this Chedi people, they went to that area according to some books and some informations. See, except these epic legends, like Chedi, coming to the point of the Chedi, Sisupala belongs to this kingdom. We know Sisupala, who was died in the hands of Sisupala died in the hands of Lord Krishna. Sisupala's mistakes, after the 100 mistakes, he was killed by Lord Krishna. So except this epic, there is nothing in this Chedi or Bundelkhand area. So after the Chedi, we will come into the another topic, that is Vacha. After the Chedi, next to coming to the point of the Vacha. What we discussed, that Vacha is one of the 4 powerful kingdoms of the 16 Mahajanapadas, located on the river bank of Yamuna. Vacha is located on the river bank of Yamuna. This is also powerful kingdom. Kosambi or Kosam was the capital. Capital of the Vacha, Kosambi. It was very powerful kingdom of that period. Famous of high quality of cotton fabrics. Kosambi or Vacha is very high quality of cotton fabrics will be available here. Cotton fabrics. The famous king belongs to this dynasty was Udayana. Udayana, he was a romantic hero of a play called Swapna Vasavadatta. Swapna Vasavadatta, which was written by Basa. Basa wrote Swapna Vasavadatta. Swapna Vasavadatta, hero Vacha. Swapna Vasavadatta means Vasavadatta's dream. Who was Vasavadatta? Vasavadatta, one of the queens of Udayana. She was Vasavadatta was one of the queens of Udayana. So in this play, Vasavadatta, she was a daughter of Pradyota. She was a daughter of Pradyota. Who was Pradyota? Pradyota, he was originally the king of Avanti. Avanti ruler Pradyota. Avanti ruler Pradyota, he gave his daughter to the Udayana. So they record Vacha Avanti matrimonial alliances of this period. Like this, so this was one important thing. And another one, Kathasaris Sagar, also contains the accounts of Udayana's conquest. Kathasaris Sagar, which was written by Somadeva. Somadeva wrote Kathasaris Sagar. Somadeva's Kathasaris Sagar speaks about the conquest of Udayana. Udayana conquered different places. And Udayana, he was also contemporary to the Bimbisara. And also he was contemporary to the Ajatashatru. He was also contemporary to the Pradyota, Avanti ruler. And also he was contemporary to the Buddha and Vardhamana Mahavira. Buddha and Vardhamana Mahavira. So even though he married Pradyota, daughter of Pradyota, but there was a rivalry continued of the Vacha and Avanti kingdom. Avanti and Vacha kingdom continued as a rivals. But these 4 kingdoms, Magadha, Vacha, Avanti and Kosala, these 4 kingdoms, never they made friendly alliances, and they continued as a rivals, one among them, one among the others, one with the others. So after the Vacha, the next kingdom to be discussed among the 16 Mahajanapadas, Kuru. Kuru was the next kingdom. Kuru corresponding to the Delhi Meerut region. Delhi Meerut region. corresponding to the Delhi Meerut region, Kuru. Indraprastha was the capital of the Kuru. Indraprastha, it was capital of the Kuru near Delhi. It was located near Delhi. During the time of the Buddha, Kuru country was ruled by a person named Kauravya king. Kauravya, he was a king ruled during the time of the Buddha's period. But Kuru, coming to the point of the Kuru, they had matrimonial relations with Yadavas of Mathura, and also Bhojas. They made matrimonial relations with the Yadavas and Bhojas of Panchala kingdom. Panchala is Mathura is the capital of the Panchala. So they made like alliances with them. The famous Pandavas and Kauravas belongs to the Kuru area. Pandavas and Kauravas, they belong to the Kuru area. After this Panchala, next Mahajanapada was Panchala Mahajanapada. Panchala was the country with the east of Delhi, east of the Delhi, located on the river bank of Chambal. It is located on the river bank of the Chambal, Panchala. So Panchala capital Ahichitra. Panchala, it is also divided into two parts because of river Ganga. River Ganga divided it into two parts. Panchala divided it into two parts, north and south. North Panchala and South Panchala. So northern Panchala capital Ahichitra. Ahichitra was the capital of the northern Panchala. And southern Panchala capital was Kampila. It was the capital of the northern Panchala. And Panchala kingdom, it is also attributed, it is also closely with the Kanyakubja. In the Panchala, there is another city called Kanyakubja, which was mentioned in the different books. Kanyakubja, later period, it was called as Kanauj. Kanyakubja was Kanauj. So Kurus and Panchalas, these two struggle each other. This was the Panchala kingdom. So after the Panchala, the next place to be discussed was the Matsya. Matsya was the next kingdom. Matsya. It was the next kingdom. Matsya's capital Viratnagara. A king called Virata, which was mentioned in the Mahabharata. Virata might be he constructed that city, that's why that is called as Virata. So Matsya originally located in the Jaipur area of Rajasthan. Jaipur area of the Rajasthan. Viratnagara, I said to you, Viratnagara named after the king Virata, which was mentioned in the Mahabharata. Why mentioned in the Mahabharata? Pandavas, after the completion of 14 years forest living, they went for the incognito, that was Agnatavasa, incognito. 1 year Agnatavasa, 1 year incognito, lived in the kingdom of the Matsya, that is under the control of Virata king. This was mentioned in the Mahabharata, and also this was mentioned in Rigveda. Vedas also mentioned this area. Rigveda mentioned Matsya kingdom. Pandavas stayed 1 year incognito, that we discussed. Satapada Brahmana also mentioned about this. According to this Satapatha Brahmana, a king named ద్వాదశని ధ్వాని, ద్వాదశన్ ధ్వాని, ద్వాదశ ధ్వాని వటవన. It was a king mentioned in the Shatapada Brahmana, belongs to the Matsya kingdom. So some of the edicts of Asoka also mentioned, found at Matsya. This was about the Matsya kingdom. After the Matsya, next to Saurasena. Saurasena, another 16 Mahajanapada. Saurasena. Saurasena's capital Mathura in Uttar Pradesh. Mathura was the capital of the Saurasena. Buddhist tradition describes the king Avantiputra of Saurasena, mentioned in the Buddhist text. He was the first among all the people. He was the first chief disciple of Buddha. That means he was the first ruler who followed Buddhism. In the Mahabharata Puranas, this was ruling by the Yadavas. This kingdom Mathura was ruling by the Yadavas or Yaduvamsa. In this Yaduvamsa, there was one separate clan. Yaduvamsa, there was different groups. In that groups, Rishini group or Rishini clan. This was very famous because Lord Krishna belongs to this Rishini clan. There were different clans here. So hero of the Mahabharata, Krishna was mentioned here. And this was also mentioned in the Kautilya's Arthashastra. Saurasena kingdom also mentioned in the Kautilya's Arthashastra. Because of the Saurasena kingdom, there was a separate language. They used the separate language, Prakrit language. That is also called as Sauraseni. Sauraseni was a separate Sanskrit language which was spoken by the people of Saurasena. Yes, after this Asmaka, this was another kingdom located in the South India. Asmaka on the river bank of Godavari, located in present Telangana state, Nirmal area. Capital Potana. Capital of the Asmaka was Potana or Bodhan. Asmaka Mahajanapada. So it was the royal sage Asmaka said to have founded. Asmaka was the royal sage. After this name, Asmaka name might be, they kept that became Asmaka. River Godavari flowed between two neighboring kingdoms, Asmaka and Molaka. Molaka was not mentioned as a 16 Mahajanapada. Later it became important center of the Asmaka and Molaka. These became important centers of the Satavahana kingdom. Satavahana kingdom existed here. But in the Jain tradition, coming to the point of the Jain tradition, in the Jain tradition, the first Jain Tirthankara, Rishabhanada, he might be belongs to this area. What is that Asmaka area? He was king of Asmaka area. He had 100 sons. Out of these 100 sons, two of them, Bharata and Bahubali. These two were fought for the kingdom. Finally, Bahubali, he realized that to whom he was waging war. He realized and he withdrawn from the battlefield. He went to the forest, sat for the tapas, that is sat for the meditation. While he was in the meditation, the ear means putta, which was made by the ants. year grown. Finally, it is going to be, what is that? The statue of the body of Bahubali is going to increase whenever year is growing up. Like that, it increased. Finally, at one of the stage, the entire Bahubali body became a statue. Ear gone. That statue looks like a nude figure of the Bahubali. That was visited by the Chamundraya according to one legendary story. That was visited by the Chamundraya. After visit of that Chamundraya, he constructed a Jain Bahubali statue at Sravana Belgola. That was the story behind the Sravana Belgola. This is about Asmaka kingdom, which was there on the river bank of Godavari. That's why Bahubali is a Telangana Bahubali and Mahishmati Bahubali. There are two types of the Bahubalis. Mahishmati Bahubali you can watch in Bahubali movie. That Bahubali is different from the Asmaka kingdom Bahubali. Now Avanti. Another most important kingdom, Avanti. Avanti located in the Madhya Pradesh, that is Ujjaini area. Mandata to Maheshwara, that was located between Mandata to Maheshwara, Ujjain. In the Narmada Valley, it is located in the Narmada Valley. Located in Narmada Valley. River Vedavati divides Avanti into two kingdoms, that is Northern Avanti and North Avanti and also South Avanti. North Avanti and also South Avanti. North Avanti, it is the capital of Vetravati. North Avanti is the capital of Ujjain. Ujjain was the capital of the North Avanti. And Mahishmati was the capital of it was capital of the South Avanti. Ujjaini and Mahishmati, these two are the capitals of Avanti. That's why whenever you are watching the movie of Bahubali, first they go to that is geographical area of the Mahishmati kingdom. First they will show the Avanti, then will come to the Mahishmati. So it was located in the very fertile land. It has most fertile land. That's why it became wealthiest state. Mahishmati became wealthiest state. Avanti ruler, that is Avanti ruler, the famous Avanti ruler was Pradyota. Pradyota was the famous Avanti ruler. Contemporary to the Vardhamana Mahavira, contemporary to the Bimbisara, contemporary to the Ajatasatru, he was also contemporary to the Buddha, Lord Buddha. He was a very powerful ruler. Pradyota has been described as a Chanda. In the Puranas, he described as a Chanda, that is lower origin. Lower origin. Described as a lower origin. And Pradyota, when he fell ill, Bimbisara sent Jivaka, physician, to the court of the Pradyota. And because of cured his disease, Avanti ruler Pradyota's disease was cured by the physician who was sent by the Bimbisara. That's why Bimbisara got some parts of the Avanti kingdom. Yes, next Mahajanapada is Gandhara. Gandhara, it is located in the northwestern frontier provinces, that is capital Taxila. Gandhara's capital Taxila. It is located in the Peshawar and Rawalpindi area, that is in Pakistan, located in the Pakistan. Gandhara is located in the Pakistan. One of the most important Mahajanapadas in the northwestern India, Gandhara. Taxila, the modern Takshashila. Takshashila or modern Takshila was the capital of that area. Takshashila was also an important and first university. Takshashila University was the earliest university in India, even in the world. According to some legendary stories, Takshashila University was constructed by Bharata, the person who was ruling the Gandhara area, king of Gandhara area, Bharata constructed Takshashila University, and his name Takshaka. His son named Takshaka. And his son named Takshaka, he constructed Takshashila University by the Gandhara ruler Bharata. This was mentioned in the Mahabharata and other epics. The great center, Gandhara is also the gate center. It has cordial relations with the Magadha and also other areas. Takshashila University, because of Kautilya, he came from the Takshashila University. He visited Magadha during the time of the Nanda kingdom. Panini, who wrote Astadhyayi, he was also Takshashila University, great luminaries, Kautilya and Uddalaka, Panini, Swetaketu, different great people learnt in the Takshashila University. King of this area, Puskarasin. Most important king was the Puskarasin. He was mentioned in the different books. He was contemporary to the Bimbisara. So this is about to the Gandhara area. Next after the Gandhara, Kamboja. Another one is Kamboja. It was also located in the northwestern area, Kamboja. Rajapura was capital. Kamboja's capital was Rajapura. It was the capital of the Kamboja. So Mahabharata connects Kambojas with a place called Rajapura. Kambojas, it was mentioned in the Mahabharata. Mentioned also in the Mahabharata. Chandavardhana was a king of this period. Chandavardhana, he was a king, belongs to the Kamboja region. A prominent king. In the latter period, Kamboja, initially it was a republican state, latter period it became monarchical state, and state of the government has been formed here, Kamboja. After the Kamboja, next the most important Mahajanapada was Magadha. Mahajanapada. Magadha located in the Bihar. Magadha's first capital Girivraja, latter the capital Rajagriha, latter the capital was the Rajagriha. After that Pataliputra, like that slowly it shifted capital from one to the another. Sometimes Vaishali was also capital of this area. Magadha became a powerful kingdom, powerful Mahajanapada during the time of the Haryanka kingdom. We know first kingdom of this area ruled Haryanka kingdom. After the Haryanka, there were different kingdoms existed. In the Ramayana, it was also known as Vasumati. Magadha, it was also known as Vasumati in the Ramayana. Here, Magadha, coming to the point of the Magadha area, initially it was ruled by the Haryanka dynasty. After the Haryanka dynasty, next to Sisunaga, ruled by the Sisunaga dynasty. After the Sisunagas, next to Nanda dynasty. After the Nandas, next to Mauryans ruled that area. After the Mauryans, Sungas. After the Sungas, Kanvas. After the Kanvas, Guptas. After the Guptas, last Vardhana dynasty. It is almost the complete ancient Indian history syllabus. All the kingdoms related to the Magadha. So this is about 16 Mahajanapadas. We discussed elaborately all the 16 Mahajanapadas. It has been completed. Go through that. Important thing was the important rulers of that area and also capitals. Most of the times in the prelims examination or in any PSC examinations or UPSC examinations, they are going to ask matchings, Mahajanapadas and capitals. Like they are going to give the matchings. That too important Mahajanapadas, not the all important. Remember the important Mahajanapadas. You can easily remember after going through this video, because I gave different things under different areas elaborately. So we are going to end this class today. Next video, in the next video, we are going to discuss the other areas like different kingdoms, Buddhism and Jainism, religious movements. Okay, good luck to you all.